This is a long video. I'm so sorry. Get popcorn. No, it's not really a popcorn type of video. Get like your lunch or dinner. Hello, fuckers. What's up? I wanted to film today, but I woke up and just got hot flashes for like an hour. So I'm not filming today, but I want to be productive, so I'm filming a YouTube video. But you can leave your "you look tired" comments now. I am tired. I feel like shit. So anyway, I posted on here as well as on TikTok asking for some Q&A questions. I'll probably do it again and ask like Twitter and Instagram or something, but for now I just left it at those two because there's already a decent amount of questions. So let me read some of them and I'll answer some questions, and that'll be that. And yeah, I have no idea how long the video is gonna be or whatever, but here we go. Woo! Yay. All right, we'll start with the ones on YouTube. First one is from William Waldrip. William, thank you. All right. One, what's your favorite / least favorite cosplay? This question is like a repeat question for sure. I got it in a few different versions of this question. I'll probably read a few of the repeats, but either way, my favorite / least favorite cosplay. It's hard to choose a favorite. I think that currently it's difficult because one of my favorite two of my favorite cosplays are Venti and Alstafo. Those are both, Soul is licking herself right now. Both of them are really fun to cosplay. However, the wigs both give me a fucking headache, and they're not like the most comfortable outfits to wear, but I really enjoy doing those characters. I really enjoy doing anything that has like an outfit that's somewhat comfortable that I can move around in. Yeah, those are generally my favorite ones, but I really like doing Alstafo and Venti. Those are both really fun. I really like doing the femboy versions of Disney princesses. Those are really fun too. My least favorite, obviously my least favorites to do are like girl cosplays because they give me dysphoria. Well, it's complicated because some of them I really like also, but it's complicated. I like them and then I like look at myself and then I feel like shit. So it's like, anyway, my least favorite, I don't really have a least favorite. I guess the ones that are just like more difficult to do and put on. Yeah, you're very good. Anyway, yeah, so probably my least favorite would be ones that are super uncomfortable. I really don't like, as much as it like does well, and I guess I like how it turns out and I like how it looks, I kind of hate doing the Raven cosplays. It feels a bit repetitive, like even though I try to switch it up by doing like different versions of Raven to make it a little more interesting, it feels very repetitive every time I do Raven. So even though people really like Raven, it's probably not my favorite. But I like the other bodysuit cosplays. Like 02 is really fun to do. I love doing 02 cosplays. 02 is definitely my favorite like girl cosplay that I do, like hands down. Oh, I really like my Teddy-kun cosplay as well. And I really like the like wizard cosplay I did last Halloween. That one was really cute. I really liked that one. So yeah. Okay, 2. What do you like about your dogs? Everything except when they shit in my house and interrupt my filming, but no. They're great, honestly. They're really good dogs. For the most part, they listen really well. They're really sweet. They like to cuddle. They just want to cuddle all the time. Case in point, the puppy foot. I love my babs. Come here, good boys. Here's your good boys. Here's your good boys. Aren't you, baby? You're free. You're free. Go be a boys. Anyway, yeah, no, they're great dogs. I really like how small they are, which is nice because then when they do misbehave, I can just pick them up and they have no control. Yes, captured puppy. Oh no, boys, captured boys. She loves to burrow in my stuffed animals. Yeah, you silly dog. She's like, I am one of them. It's where I belong. Also, they're so soft, dude. I just like to rub my face on them, on their scruff. Their scruff is the softest part. Yes, that's the softest part of me. Oh, gosh. 3. Who inspired me to do cosplay? That's a hard one. I've always really enjoyed cosplay. I've done cosplay ever since I was in I've always done cosplay. When I was a little kid, I wore a Peter Pan costume. Well, actually it would rotate between my Peter Pan costume, my Robin Hood costume, and then my Sword in the Stone, aka King Arthur costume. It was one of those three. I would rotate between them, and that's all I would wear when I was a kid. So I've always done cosplay. Also note that they're all boy characters. I mean, suspicious in retrospect. I've always cosplayed. Currently, whenever I'm like lacking inspiration, honestly, my go-to is looking at anything Nora posts, because she's great. Like her content, beautiful. It's perfect. No notes. Like, it's so good. I'm a huge fan. So yeah, anytime I'm like, not feeling inspired to work, and then I see Nora post and I'm like, I am feeling a little bit more inspired to work now. Thank you for those questions. That was the long answer, but this is probably going to be a slightly long video. I got a lot of questions and I talk a lot, so. Mr. Beatle fan, who are some of your favorite musical artists, favorite albums, genre, song, etc.? That's a hard one because I am the type of person who likes most types of music. The only type of music that I'm not really a huge fan of is opera. Like, technically I can appreciate it, but I would not listen to opera. But anything else, like, I really like classical music. I love pop. I love K-pop. I love country music. I like rock. I like metal. I like hip-hop. I like rap. Probably my favorite... I would say probably one of my favorite artists is Post Malone. I have to limit myself because if I name more than one, I'm gonna name like 50 people. So I'm just gonna limit and say Post Malone, and then we'll leave it there. But know that there's like 5,000 others. If you ask me, I will share my YouTube music playlist with you. It's just private right now, but like I'll share the link with you. I don't care. Like, I've shared the link before, okay? It's somewhere. I really like nightcore music too. I like all music. If it has a good beat, I probably like it. It has to like actually sound good. I like music that sounds good. Wow, revolutionary. Okay, I'll just name off a few more. Like, I like the Beatles. I like Paramore, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I like Green Day. I like My Chemical Romance, Avril Lavigne, ITZY. Oh god, I can just keep going. There's like, I'm getting like stun-locked because like my brain is coming up with so many different, my bias is definitely Lisa, in case you were curious though. Blackpink's probably not even my favorite group. It might be ITZY or Twice. But like Lisa's still my favorite, so it's like or Wongi. Oh, it's so hard. Okay, anyway. Thank you for the music question. Oh god, I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm so sorry. Fasha Ramet? I think? Maybe? Question mark? You correct me, please. I had two questions. First, just curious, what's your plan in the future when you finally retire and quit making videos? Okay, that's the first. I'll answer that one first. I don't really, I've talked to my therapist and my parents and fiance and a lot of people about this. I don't see myself retiring for quite a while. I really enjoy my job. I can't really imagine doing anything else. I think if I did retire, what would happen is I would just step back from the sex work part of my job, but the rest would stay the same. And I'd probably just like lean more into doing my art and stuff like that. Honestly, that or another potential thing that I have been wanting to do forever, but like I just don't have the funding for it, nor the time or energy. So this is definitely like an in the future thing when I'm have all of those things. Having a like photo studio that is specifically dedicated to only sex workers, so that you could come there and take photo sets and videos. Like, you could film like whatever you wanted, you know, like porn. You could actually film porn and take nudes and shit at the photo studio, but it's like a nice set with costumes and like photo equipment and stuff that you could rent out. Because I just feel like that would be like a super valuable resource for a lot of people, because it's honestly a problem that I know a lot of people have, is finding sets and stuff that actually allow you to take nudes and other things like that, because a lot of like photo studios just straight up aren't they don't allow nudity of any kind, even like suggestive photos are banned. So I think it would be like a really good, it would just be so nice. Like I want to make it because I want to have it. Like I need that so I don't have to clean my house, you know? Like I need, my fiance just got back. Hold on. That's not really a thing that I'm super concerned about at the moment. I haven't really thought all that much about it, but because it's like an in the future thing for me. Like this is still working out great for me at the moment. Like even though I'm in a actually I'm coming out of the slump that I was in, whatever. It's like slowly coming out of that. So that's also, yeah, I'm chilling, honestly. I still very much enjoy my job. So yeah, I don't see a reason to retire anytime soon. So I haven't thought about it. Okay, second, is there something interesting that you always want to do but don't have time to do or chance to do it? By the way, sorry, my English is not good. Your English is just fine. I wish I had some more time to do art and finish my other projects that I give myself, because I give myself like 500 projects, then I start them and then I don't finish them because I give myself more projects or I have other things that I have to complete, and then it doesn't ever get finished. So I wish I had more time to finish my projects. Like I do finish them, it just takes like months longer than I want or think it will. So yeah, but thank you for your question, Rick LaFleur. Okay, that's how I'm saying your username. All right, how'd you meet your fiance? We met on Hinge. Honestly, I have pretty good luck with dating apps when I can convince the app that I am not a catfish and they stop reporting my account and banning me, because that happens quite a bit, is that I get accused of being a catfish because there's a lot of catfish of me. But yeah, Hinge. Bubs Sima Dragon. Sorry, I'm butchering everyone's fucking usernames right now. How has your life changed after coming out as trans, and what are your thoughts on the people telling you to go back? Let's see. In my daily life, it's changed for the better. I have like less anxiety. I haven't had like a panic attack in so long. Like an actual true like panic attack, not like an anxiety attack, but like a panic attack. It's been a while. It's probably been since like I first came out and was like panicking about that, but since then I haven't really had any panic attacks. I've had some anxiety attacks, but like my anxiety overall is just like way less bad. Even some of my social anxiety is a lot less bad. It hasn't helped with the depression yet, but I think that's just because of the dysphoria, and then seasonal depression is just kind of a bitch. So it's here to stay. Yeah. So overall, I've felt a lot more like mentally healthy since coming to this realization about myself. And I think also just the fact, to the point that like everyone who knows me in real life has like pulled me aside and is like, hey, you're doing so much better. Like ever since you came out, like I'm really happy for you. To that degree, like it's noticeable for people who are around me. Yeah, I'm just like happier in general. I am angry a lot less. I felt like one of the things that when I was a girl, because not everyone refers to pre-transition that way, but I don't care about referring to myself with girl pronouns or whatever, referring to me as a girl like pre-transition, because like that's how I was identifying, so it's whatever. Anyway, just as a reference, in case you want to talk about me pre-transition, I'm fine with that. Unless you're referring to me now, then don't. Use your brain. I had so many fucking anger problems. Like I was constantly mad at fucking everything. I hated everyone. I hated everything. I hated myself. No, I didn't hate myself. But no, I was just like angry about everything all the time, and life fucking sucked. But now it's not that, and even if that's the positive, the downside is that it very much feels like there's now like an invisible wall where I am like blocked out of a lot of things that previously I would have no problem being accepted into or part of, or just like, you know, like I'm not out of place there. So that's been hard to come to terms with, I think. And like I realized this was a problem before I transitioned, because, and this is part of why I make the content that I do, but there is, and not no, I'm not prefacing this with anything. Fuck you. There is a huge problem with men's mental health being overlooked, and a lot of people just kind of making jokes or whatever about men's depression and other sexual assault, other things like that. It's just more of a punchline than an actually serious topic. Not that when it happens to anyone else, it's taken more seriously. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying both are a problem. And now I'm seeing it firsthand that it's a problem. And whereas when I was a girl and I would talk about these problems, obviously there's people who dismiss it, but there are people from every group who also are willing to listen to you and be kind and like acknowledge what you've gone through. Whereas unless you preface that you're a trans guy, and even then it doesn't always, sometimes they don't care. But as soon as they see that you're a guy, they immediately dismiss it, which is stupid, and I don't like that. And I didn't like that before, and I don't like it now. It's dumb. I don't like the boys versus girls club energy that a lot of people seem to fucking have. I don't like gender wars, personally. And that's just been exacerbated ever since transitioning. So I think that's been honestly the hardest thing to come to terms with, because where I live, there's not like a bunch of laws or anything in my way. It's pretty good in Washington. So it's not so much like I live in an area where it's fine. People will just default to assuming I'm like non-binary or something because they're so used to trans people here that they default to they theming you than anything else, which is whatever, is fine. Like, I can tolerate that. It's whatever. Or they'll think that I'm a trans girl, so then I also get that. But, so I'm not like, people aren't like intentionally misgendering me a bunch in public when I go out, which isn't that often, but whenever I do. I think that most of that type of vitriolic stuff comes from people online, and I've always been somewhat decent with dealing with people online. It's just the fact that a lot of those people online are so unhinged and insane and entitled that they bring it into real life as well. Like, I had to recently get a restraining order, which thankfully got issued, and it's unhinged at how entitled certain people can be. So yeah, there's literally zero reason for me to go back. Also, because it's like the only conceivable reason I could see for me to like pretend to detransition or something, or like pretend to go back to being a girl, is if I could like make it a grift or something, or like make money off of it. But like, A, that grift is oversaturated, I'm so sorry. And B, I don't want to be around those people. Those people are like, they make my brain hurt. They're just so obnoxious. I don't want those people in my fan base. I don't want money from them. And I make the same amount of money that I was making before. There's this weird misconception with a lot of like ex-fans who are like real butt mad about it. They have this idea that because they stopped tipping me, I'm like not getting as much money anymore. But like, that's just not true. That's not true. I'm making more money now than I did when I was on MFC or ManyVids or any of those other things. So like, that has actually been completely the same, because I've gained a lot more fans from other groups, and I still retained like a decent amount of my fans because my content really just hasn't actually changed all that much. You just kind of have to use your imagination and make it the content you want it to be. You can consume it however you want to. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, like, work outside of, like, the harassment has actually been fine, and, like, the filming dysphoria and everything, like, that's been difficult. Yeah, no, there's literally no reason for me to go back, because if I went back, it'd make the filming dysphoria worse. I would alienate all of my new fans that I genuinely enjoy and are very nice and supportive, and then also I wouldn't be able to make the content that I get to enjoy making. And also, this is content that there's not the other content that I was making. There is about 50 clones of that content. I was not like a unique, I was not like other girls. I was very much exactly like other girls. I was a carbon copy of them because I didn't want to fucking be a girl anyway, so I was just doing like the default e-girl shit, like, because that's what fucking sells, you know? It doesn't matter. But now I gotta do the things I actually want, which is like a lot more unique, and other people just aren't making that content. So I get to, which is, in my opinion, a lot more fun. So yeah, no, there's no reason I'd ever fucking go back. I would be miserable, probably Minecraft myself, and I wouldn't actually be able to get through filming. I think I'd just cry. I think I would just be crying. I wouldn't be very pretty. So yeah. Okay, next question. Okay, Carlo, top 3 moments from this past year. Obviously getting engaged would be the top one. It's been over a year since I transitioned, so I can't really say transitioning. Getting my restraining order issued definitely, well, it was kind of bittersweet because restraining orders don't really do all that much, unfortunately, even though like it does make me feel slightly better. It's a bittersweet one. Let's see, I haven't really done all that much, I feel like. I don't know, enjoying the sun, relaxing. I don't really go for having like top moments. Does that make sense? I think I more so just try to have like a good day each day, and then if something good shit happens, then that's good. But also my sense of time is like so shit that I'm like, I can totally have just forgotten what happened 2 days ago, unless I like specifically try to recall something, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, I'm like, what have I even done? Like, did I go on vacation? I feel like, oh yeah, well, I went on vacation to get engaged. But that's kind of like the same thing. My birthday was fun. I'm not really sure. I don't really think about life in that way exactly. Not that it's bad to think about it that way. It's totally fine. I'm just saying I don't really. So it's hard for me to answer that question. Okay, Danny, how do you feel looking back on your work and everything that you've done? Do you ever think back on that kind of stuff, or are you more in the moment and looking forward? I don't know, this might just be me needing therapy. Oh, also, in case no one else asks, how are you doing today? A fellow stream lurker. Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm kind of the type of person who lives in the moment. I think that's one of my coping methods, is to just try to live in the moment, because when I try and think too far ahead or plan too much shit or other things like that, I start future tripping way too much, and it's not very productive for me. So yeah, I don't really look back on stuff either. Once I make something, it pretty much just like exits my brain. Does that make sense? When I see like I'll scroll back and like see photos, I'm like, oh yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that was cute. Like whenever I'm like looking through my like photo sets or whatever to try to like get photos to upload or whatever, and I see an old photo set, I was like, oh yeah, that was a cute one. I really like that. Or I'll be like, where the fuck is that shirt? You know, stuff like that. I feel like that's about all I think of when I think of my old content. Or I'll be like, oh yeah, like that turned out really good. I should do that again. Or something like that. Yeah, that's about the only thing I really think of. Other than that, no, I'm doing good. I'm chilling. Kitty's eating his food. All right, Pops, go get your lunch. 3 o'clock, food time. I'm good. And yeah, I'm definitely an in the moment person. I mean, I don't think that has any bearing on whether or not you need therapy, but I would suggest therapy because therapy is good for everybody, no matter what the reason. Even if everything is going good, I still suggest therapy. It's nice to have someone impartial to talk to who can like see the whole scope of your life and know you for a long period of time. So when something inevitably does go wrong, because life's not perfect and something will probably go wrong at some point, you can have someone who's been there to continue to be there to support you through the hard shit. So I always suggest having a therapist. Even when my life is going perfectly fine, I still have a therapist. I still see her every week, at least every week. If things are going bad, I see her more, but I mean, you don't even need to see a therapist that often, but I like doing weekly check-ins. So Lars Morgan, this isn't a question. I just want to thank you for all you do. I love your videos and live streams. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Anu Arc, what is the most valuable lesson you have learned in all these years? I think to trust myself and trust myself, trust my gut, and don't like let other people's opinions sway my plans. I think that's the most important thing, because yeah, you're never gonna please everyone. So just start by pleasing yourself and then work off from there, I think is the best lesson I've learned. Yeah, I think that's what's kept me able to keep making content and not get burnt out and want to quit or something or start hating it, because I'm just doing it to make myself happy. I'm not doing it to make others happy. If others also get happy along the way, then that's awesome. And that means that they relate to the content that I relate to. But yeah, unless I'm being lazy, and then I'll ask you guys for a video idea and I'm like, fine, I'll do foot content. But like, that's an exception. Okay. Mighty Adam, do you have an actual goal in sight for the YouTube channel? If so, what is it? Or do you just want to use it as a way to connect to fans and share your thoughts? Yeah, I don't really have like an actual plan. I mostly just like using YouTube as kind of like a journal of sorts. I think that's how I've always kind of used YouTube. It's like video format journal that I don't have to like highly curate because it's not really my main content. It's kind of just like bonus content for me. So I don't really have like an exact goal. Just, it's more just like extra bonus content for people who want more safer word content and also people who just need extra shit to watch. But yeah, so I guess it's mostly just to connect with fans. That's probably the main reason. I don't really have like a whole plan, but I do want to focus more towards like doing videos on sex work and advice in sex work and stuff, because I've been doing it for a while and I've seen a lot of shit, and a lot of the like, you know, famous girls back in the day are all like done with it. They're all like, well, A, no one really knows who they are anymore, and then B, they don't really make the type of content that's popular now. They make like old-fashioned porn, and no offense, but cosplay content and like internet-focused content's a lot more popular. So, and I'm good at doing that. I'm good at making that kind of content because it's what I enjoy doing. So if I can give people advice on that stuff, and yeah, because I've been doing it for a while now. It's crazy how long it's been. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but at the same time, I guess it does. Because I can't, like, it's been so long. Anyway, Raul, I'm just gonna say that because the rest of it is long and I'm not sure how I'm gonna pronounce that. Raul Pizza? Something. Okay. If you had the opportunity to be born again, but in the form of some animal, which would it be and why? I appreciate you very much. He's from Chile. Thank you. Let's see. I think I'd want to be a cat just because the agility stats are cracked. Yeah, I think I will want to be a cat. Also because they are good at manipulating people into taking care of them. So I feel like that's like definitely the best animal setup. So yes, cat. Antonio, if you had to move not only from Seattle but the whole US, where do you want to move to? I think I would move to Ireland, probably because, well, A, their laws and other things are closer to what it is here and also are like favorable to the positions that I also hold. So yeah, Ireland would probably be my go-to. Not sure where in Ireland. I think Galway. Galway seems really nice. That's where my parents like to go to. But yeah, so I think I'd go to Ireland also because the laws for trans people aren't terrifying there. So can you please stop scratching yourself? You're making a lot of noise. So Ireland, or we looked this up on stream because we were like, where the fuck else is it like safe to be like gay or trans in like a country? Bangkok. I want to go. I'd move to Bangkok. Yes, Thailand. Mwah, you have my heart, Thailand. Also because they just legalized gay marriage and they're a lot nicer there. So they're more okay with the gays. Not entirely, but you know, they're a lot better there than a lot of other places. So Bangkok would be another one. Also because Thailand's just so pretty. So pretty, dude. Anyway, so those would be my two. But probably Ireland because they speak English. Generally, everyone speaks English. So if I had to evacuate the US, that's where I'd go. Okay, Brandon, have you ever thought about getting into emulation and streaming older games? Dolphin, the GameCube, Wii emulator. It's pretty easy to set up. I've thought about it mostly because I'd want to stream like Link Between Worlds or like Majora's Mask or like Wind Waker or something. I think that I'd want to stream Zelda if I did that, but also, dude, with my luck with technology, it wouldn't be easy. It would fail. It'd make my computer explode in the process. And then it would also catch my house on fire, and then I'm like cursed by like a tech demon or something. Like, I don't know what the fuck the problem with it. It's so bad. It's so bad, dude. So, yeah, no, just because I know me and I know my luck with tech and I would fuck it up. But if I did, I would totally emulate some Zelda games. I feel like that would be really fun. And before all the comments telling me how easy it is, I'm sure it is. I just have bad luck, okay? updating my graphics cards fucks up my computer, okay? Like everything. Ugh. Anyway. Okay, James J Dog. Okay, how are you coping after certain platforms have shafted your content reach? Well, I found a slight way around the content suppression on TikTok by I just have to make like a fucking joke about being a boy, not being a girl, being a femboy, something along those lines in the TikTok, and then it's like fine, and it hits the algorithm. I don't know. I'm slowly getting out of the slump with that. Basically how I cope whenever my content is in like a slump or it's like not hitting the algorithm or I'm shadow banned as fuck or whatever. Usually what I do when I have a situation like that is I just focus on making content and I don't really look at the views or the comments or the likes or anything like that. I just like make content, post content, make content, post content, and then I just kind of like look back at it in like a month or two and then I'm like, okay, it's doing better now. Because usually that happens, and it's not always a fast process. Like it's slowly getting out of it, but it comes around. It goes in cycles like that. That's just how it is. I mean, after doing this for so long, I've had it cycle through like that about like 3 or 4 times. So it's, I think also having that knowledge helps me deal with it, because it definitely knocked me off my rocker the first few times. And now I'm like, no, it's fine. It's normal. It's just how it goes. Yeah, I think that's, ne bon fa. You know, that's how, just can't do anything about it. Just how it is. Okay. A new arc. All right. IDK, how do you manage your schedule? I mean, I know you do social media for a living, but do you feel comfortable with the way you organize your workflow? That's the best question I thought of. I want to organize my time better as well because of uni, and that I want to be consistent uploading my own stuff. Anyways, best wishes. Okay, that's a good question. Currently, my workflow is really fucked, but when I do have a good workflow, what I try to do is every time I've been successful about having a schedule and like sticking to it, I have to make myself an hourly schedule. And it seems a little bit like overkill and ridiculous to do that, but I literally have to be like, okay, from this time to this time, I'll be doing this. From this time to this time, I'll be doing this, and then this, and then this, and then I have to break it this time. And then I literally have to do like that. That's what I did all through high school. I had like straight A's. I graduated with like a 3.5 or something. I forget. Like that's how I did it in high school and college. I had an hourly schedule. I color coordinated everything. I have specific notebooks for specific different topics. In high school, I had it for different like subjects or whatever. Now I have it for like, okay, video ideas, costumes and stuff. And then that's a really good way to do it. Another thing that is a really good tool is to get like a Excel workflow task. Oh, my cheese making noises. An Excel workflow task organizer or checklist. They have a lot of like free ones on like Canva and stuff as well, or like Google Sheets. You can also buy some on like Etsy or whatever, but basically just having like, it's like an Excel spreadsheet where you can keep track of your tasks and like what you need to do for each task or project to like just make sure you're keeping up to date and like making sure like the deadlines and everything are all good. But yeah, so using like project workflow task checklists is a really good tool. I suggest everyone do that, honestly, no matter what your job or the fuck you're doing is. It's a really good way to do that. It's how I also keep track of my like outside of work projects, because I have a lot of them. So I suggest doing that. But yeah, I think that sitting down and planning out my week, either Monday or Sunday, always really helps for me. And then every morning when I like wake up, making sure to like look through what my schedule for the day is, like, okay, what are the things I have to do for today so that I can like mentally prepare for it. Those are generally the best tips I have for maintaining a schedule. But right now my health has been a little bit skewed and my sleep schedule's all fucked, so my schedule is not great, which is why I'm filming a YouTube video today and not a video. So yay me. Next week's gonna be so fun because I gotta play catch up. That's my suggestion. Okay, last question from Enin. What are you hopeful for in the future? Probably top surgeries. I think I'm most hopeful for. Well, not, I mean, it's like a done deal, but so I'm not like hopeful for it. it's gonna happen. It's more so just like I'm looking forward to it being done. I cannot fucking wait. I just know my life is going to drastically improve when that's done, and I just cannot wait. It's just about me mentally coping with the recovery process. That's the difficult part for me, because I am really bad with mentally coping with healing wounds. Weirdly specific thing that I have a difficult time with. Obviously no one has a great time with it, but like my OCD like fixates on it, and it is not a fun experience. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to changing bandages and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to like a year out from whenever I get surgery and I'm fully healed, and it'll be great. I can wear the clothes I want. I'm looking forward to it so much. It's gonna be a very bittersweet experience because of the recovery process, but I'm even just like thinking about like future me who already has that done, like feels like a weight lift off my chest. So yeah, cannot wait for that. Okay, Lemon. So hypothetically speaking, what if a few weeks ago you went to a country fair and visited one of those fortune tellers for shits and giggles, since you said you don't believe in those things, but now the stuff she said, and I mean the oddly specific, not the broad, the vague ones, started to happen exactly how and within the time frame she said it would that make you start believing it even a little bit, or is it just some crazy coincidence? Weird for sure, but just a coincidence. Asking for a friend. Okay, first of all, Lemon, did that fucking happen? Because you need to tell us the whole story. I need the context for what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, listen, as far as my belief in like supernatural shit, I'm very much a believer in not that, mostly because I just have never seen any proof of it. I'm agnostic on most things in the true sense of the word agnostic. Like, I'm not an atheist, I'm agnostic. I've never seen proof of it, therefore I do not believe it. I've seen proof of science, therefore I believe it. However, if I saw proof, now that wouldn't be enough proof for me. I would need to like test it in some way, like do the scientific process of elimination, you know? Because at this point it's just a hypothesis. It's just a theory. I sorry. Yeah, no, I would definitely like test it, but I wouldn't just immediately be like, it's nothing. Like, you know, if I'm in a house with fucking ghosts, I'm like in like Paranormal Activity or whatever, I'm not like, no, we're totally fine, it's nothing. Like, I'd be like, hold up, are there demons? Are there demons? There might be demons. There could be demons. I'm not ruling out the possibility of demons. I feel like that's how I feel about most things. Like, I'm not ruling out the possibility. I just have not seen proof of it yet, so like I'm not saying it is that. I'm very curious what the fuck you're referencing right now. Soul asks top 3 books or top 3 movies. Oh, that's so hard, dude. Okay. Do I be annoying and say my top 3 are the Alice's in Wonderland series? No, I don't do that. Okay, I'll just say Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I'll just group all the books into one book. Top book for sure. I'll just do series, because most of my favorite books are series. Okay, the first 2 favorites are series. Alice in Wonderland series, which is a series. A lot of people don't know that. It's a series. And then also the Uglies series by Scott Westerfield. I fucking love that book. They made it into a movie recently, and it doesn't look great. Joey King is in it. I'm not looking forward to that. Love that series. It's really fucking good. You have to read the 4th book. By the way, if you haven't read the 4th book, because a lot of people read the first 3. Like, the first 3 are Uglies, and yeah, it's Uglies, Pretties, Specials, and then the 4th book is Extras. Extras is the best book. Like, not even close. It's the best one of the whole series, and it's so underrated. It literally takes place in the future from the series, but in Japan, okay? So it's better. And there's aliens. Okay, anyway. The 3rd is probably The Secret Garden. I love that book. The Secret Garden is probably one of my favorite books. It's really good. Yeah, it's hard for me to just choose top 3 books. Like, there's a lot of really good ones. Another one, oh god, yeah, okay, no, I'll stop at 3. Stopping at 3. I used to, I didn't have cable when I was a kid, so I read a lot of books, right? Top 3 movies. Donnie Darko, Requiem for a Dream, and that's so difficult. Oh god. 31 maybe? Because, like, I can't decide which Rob Zombie movie is my favorite, because, like, I fucking love Rob Zombie's horror movies. They're my favorite. Oh, they're so good. 31 is probably my favorite of all of them. Okay, I'm gonna say 31. Oh, it's so hard to choose, though. It's so hard to choose. I love horror in general. Horror is my favorite genre, period. But horror or thrillers or psychological thrillers, yeah, those are really good. Also, honorable note for Train Spotting. Oh, so good. Honestly, any of those, like, hey, here's the harsh reality of drugs movies, like, those movies always hit so hard for me, just because, like, that's how high school felt. So no, I was the one doing the fucking drugs until later. Anyway, yeah, so any of those movies are always fucking, oh, they're so good. Also, just, yeah. Anyway, okay. Next question. Okay, Desert Wolf says, will you upload videos on your personal page again? Love that you're following your dream. Let's go. I'm not sure what you mean by personal page. I asked you in the replies, but you haven't responded yet. But I'm not sure what you mean by personal page. I'm gonna assume that you mean Pornhub, in which case I'm banned from there. A lot of people still don't realize I'm banned from there somehow, or they think that I deleted my account, but I didn't. They banned me because someone else stole my content that was privately sold back when I was on my free cams. They leaked it. It then got posted on Pornhub, got 30 million views on it. And then because I was going to sue Pornhub for the money they were making off of my stolen content, they decided, oh, how about you just make an account and then we'll pay you out for it. So I made an account and they paid me out, but I was not talking to the person who was in the videos, so I didn't have access to their fucking ID because we broke up. Like, it was an old video. I didn't post it for that reason, because we broke up. I don't post content. This is why I don't make content with people, because, like, I don't want to deal with that. So there's a reason I didn't upload that content, but my account still got striked for not having the, like, co-performer's ID on it, even though I was trying to tell them they just need to delete the video because I don't have access to that, and I also didn't upload the video in the first place. But because how Pornhub works, you can't delete videos from your account. Like, you have to request it be deleted, and you have to have a valid reason for them to delete it. Either it's, like, stolen or something, copyright, whatever. So, yeah, and instead of just deleting the video, they banned my account. So anyway, I am not going to be posting on there again. I post on Fansly on a weekly basis, if not more than that. At least that's how much I try to post on there. I try. I stream on there at least once a week. So yeah, I post to Fansly quite often. I post to Twitter quite often. Those are, like, the main places that I'm posting, like, content. As far as my website goes, I've been doing taxes this last month, so I'm just finally wrapping that up. And as soon as that's wrapped up and I'm done filming, like, the Halloween content, because that's now my next project at the moment that I'm working on, is filming all my Halloween content for October, slightly preemptively, but, like, yeah, I'm doing, like, a 13 days of Halloween thing. So I will be posting more videos. I'm going to be posting a lot of my, like, newer videos, as well as all of the backlog on my website coming soon as I have time for it. And I'll be getting my mods to help me with uploading that stuff. I just need to, like, go over how to do that with them again. So pause on that right now, but it will get updated again soon. So thank you for being patient with the website. I know it's a slow process. I just have a lot of fucking videos, and the upload process is not quick or easy. It's very tedious. So sorry about the delay. But yeah, there will be stuff soon. Okay, Anu, come to Mexico. Okay, no. How do you picture yourself in the political spectrum, and what do you think of communism? Okay, first of all, I do like Mexico. I like Oaxaca specifically. That's my favorite place to go in Mexico. It's so nice. I also went to Guadalajara not that long ago. It was nice. I like Oaxaca better, though, personally. I like the vibes there. And the food everywhere, but, you know. Anyway, I don't really consider myself anywhere I think that I'm probably like a left-leaning centrist is probably realistically where I'm actually at, even though I'm constantly accused of being a right-wing libertarian. I get people do confuse the two, but no. Not a fan of communism, not a fan of any extreme beliefs. I think that all extreme beliefs are just not really productive, and most of them lead to dictators. So it's not a fan of that, any of it. Yeah, not a fan of fascism, not a fan of communism, not a fan of either extreme. I like when people are rational and not hoping for a utopia where one cannot exist, essentially. Yeah, I think most things should probably be legal within reason and with a license. I think we should legalize drugs. I think that, you know, sex work should be legal. Stop putting restrictions on people's expression and stuff. That's why I like Washington. I agree with Washington's laws. Washington is the perfect state. So yeah. I like where I live. It's perfect here. We have made all the correct choices. So yeah. Okay, cat was taken. Do you think 20s to 30s age group is the best time of life? Also, do you have tattoos? I do have tattoos. I have this one. I have two right here. And then I have one on my back as well. I have a video about my tattoos if you want to go look at that as well. I don't know which playlist it's in, but it's back there. It's like 5 years old, but I haven't gotten any new tattoos since then, so it's up to date. 20s to 30s, I would say probably not the best time of your life. Everyone I've talked to who's in their 30s, it seems like that's probably like I'm gonna say like 25 to 35 is probably the peak. I'm gonna say that's probably the peak. That or 30 to 40, because like you're more financially stable. You have a little bit more, you know, ground built around you and stuff. You're into your career. You're not just like starting out. Your brain is developed fully. Yeah, so I would say definitely like late 20s into 30s is probably the peak. Like 13 going on 30 had it right. 30 flirty and thriving. I feel like that's true. Everyone I know who's in their 30s seems like they're doing a lot better than everyone in their 20s. Everyone in their 20s low-key seems fucking miserable at the moment, which is understandable. I agree. The economy is terrifying right now. We can't buy houses. You can't buy a house in your 30s either, but you know, at least you're not as worried about rent at that point. So yeah. Okay, almost done with the YouTube questions. I am just answering all of them, and then I'm gonna move on to TikTok. This is a long video. I'm so sorry. Hopefully you're enjoying how long it is. Hopefully you have a snack. Get popcorn. No, it's not really a popcorn type of video. Get like your lunch or dinner. Just a Dude asks, once Inari becomes an adult and chills the fuck down, would you ever consider getting another cat, 2 dogs and 2 cats? Like, I would, except I live in an apartment and they won't let us have more than 3. Already having 3, I had to like register Soul officially as as an emotional support dog, so they couldn't refuse me renting her. And she doesn't have to pay the fee. If you have a therapist or psychologist or psychiatrist who can certify your animal as an emotional support animal, and they actually are that, because Soul actually is that for me. That's why I got her. So she like actually is serving that purpose. It's not just like a paper thing. It does help. But yeah, that's as many as I can have at the moment. Maybe if I ever move into a house that I own, then maybe. But I think I want farm animals, like chickens. I really want chickens. I really want chickens, dude. I love chickens. I miss my chickens. I had chickens when I was little. I raised them until they were like 9. And then a fucking raccoon. Fucking raccoons. Stupid fucking trash panda. I hate it too because I love raccoons. But like, fuck, why'd you have to get my chickens? They were cute Polish chickens too. Like, I love Polish hens. Anyway, and then Clifton with the one lone transphobic comment. What made you start doing I'm a boy gimmick? I don't know. Maybe because my brain was like, a girl? That doesn't sound correct. A boy? That does sound correct. Looking in the mirror? That doesn't look correct. In my brain, how do I picture myself? I don't have titties or a pussy. So that's kind of how that worked. It's kind of made me start doing the I'm a boy gimmick. All right. Okay, that was the last of the YouTube questions. All right, TikTok. All right, I only posted this an hour ago, so we only got like 20 comments on here, so we're doing with what we got. But yeah. Okay, I just have to read this one first because I don't understand what the fuck this question is all. What is the proper lug torque for a 2010 Lincoln MKT? Girl, I don't know cars. I don't know what a lug torque. Girl, like I understand those words separately, but I don't, no. That went right over my head. So if anyone in the comments wants to answer that question, thanks, Serpent. All right, Saint has a question. What has been the favorite thing you've been able to do, experience, vacation, etc.? It's a good question. What's my favorite experience that I've been able to do? I really enjoyed going to the Louvre. Soul, please stop scratching. It's too loud. It's very loud, Popos. Going to the Louvre is probably one of my favorite experiences. The Champs-Élysées was also nice. I really enjoyed Paris. Paris gets a lot of shit, but I really enjoyed it. I didn't get Paris syndrome at all when I went, even though, like, yeah, the people are dicks, but like, as long as you're aware of that and you're not expecting them to be different, I think you're fine, you know? So yeah, Paris was great. I always really enjoy traveling, honestly, whenever I can get past my travel anxiety, because I do have a lot of travel anxiety, but when I can get past that, I really enjoy. I've got to go like paragliding in Hawaii. That was really fun. I always really enjoy going to fucking Disneyland, honestly. Love Disneyland. It's my favorite go-to vacation spot, Disneyland. My goal is to go to every single Disney park at some point. I've been to Disneyland, Disney World, Disney Paris. Those are the only ones I've been to, but of all of them, Disneyland is the best. Although Disney Paris is like low-key underrated as fuck because it's just really tiny, and in my experience, it's just like a lot more empty than the other ones. And dude, their Space Mountain has an upside down part. It's like Space Mountain 2 or something. It's way better. It's a way better ride. I was not prepared. Anyway, made the mistake of taking my grandma on that one. I was like, it's not that, it's just a normal roller. There's no upside down. I ate my words real fast. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was not aware. But yeah, so traveling, going places like that is always really fun for me. I always enjoy doing that. What's the one piece? Thank you, Grateful Dead girlfriend. Thank you. Honestly, that's a to be or not to be. That's like the same level philosophy going on with that question. All right, Spencer, what's your favorite 2024 cosplay you've done? I really like the fox turned out. I really like how Nagisa turned out. I really like how Slime turned out. Yeah, I think I'll have to say Nagisa or maybe Venti. Those ones turned out good. Yeah. All right. The Skaven Warrior says, how long have you been cosplaying for? I kind of answered this before, but I've been doing it since forever. I've been doing it like professionally for my job for, I started cosplaying about like 2 years into doing this job, so like 9, almost 10 years. Yeah. Brandon, I know you love Sword Art Online, but what are your thoughts on Sword Art Online Abridged? Love Sword Art Online Abridged. So funny. All of the anime abridged series are so fucking good. They're so funny. Love them. Okay, Jacob DeRusso says, how do I come out to a bad dad but a good mom? Like reactions. I'm guessing you're saying coming out as trans or gay, and I've only had to come out to a few people who I knew would have like an adverse reaction in some way, and basically what I did was I didn't tell them. I had someone else tell them for me because I felt like that helped like buffer it slightly. Now, for me, neither of my parents were the people that were gonna have a bad reaction. Both my parents are super, super supportive and like don't give a fuck. Like my mom is like my number one supporter and stuff. So, you know, that thankfully is not something that I had to experience. But what I would say is if your dad is the one who's not supportive and your mom is the one who is supportive, come out to your mom first and then come up with a game plan with her on how to tell your dad in a way that won't upset him as much as possible, because obviously someone like that is probably going to get upset no matter how or what you say. However, if you have your mom there and she's supportive, I would just go to her privately, tell her you want to tell your dad but you're concerned about it, and then ask for her advice on how you think the best plan to do that is, because she's gonna know him better than anyone else, and she's probably had to break some hard news to him before, so she's gonna know how to do that in a way that can like lessen the blow. But I think that really the goal when coming out to, and realistically you don't actually have to come out, but if you want to, then you know, that's beside the point. But I think the biggest concern with coming out to people who you're worried are gonna have like a bad reaction or are homophobic or transphobic or unsupportive or anything like that, the best way to go about it is to have someone with you and have someone else do the talking for you that already knows the situation. That way you can have someone backing you up, because usually when it's like you trying to stick up for yourself against someone who refuses to listen to it, it really helps to have someone else there to like bolster your side of things. And so the other person can't just like railroad you into like taking it back or doing anything like that or make you feel bad about it, because then you have someone else there to support you. So that would be my suggestion. But if possible, also try and see if you can talk to a therapist. Doing it in family therapy is also a really good way to do that, because then you have a therapist, you have like a third party who's there who can like mediate the situation. So either with therapy, with your other supportive parent, or even if you have like supportive friends or anything like that, they can also help you. And even if you're worried about coming out to your mom, who like, you know, will be supportive, because like even coming out to people, like I had a hard time coming out to my parents, even though I knew they would be supportive, because it's just hard to come out to people. But having like a friend or anything like that to help you there, or like what I did was, because my parents I don't live with them anymore or near them at the moment, so I sent a text to them which just like laid everything out. And I feel like for me that's a good way so I can like really get all my words out without like stumbling over them or getting anxiety or anything. So I think like writing out a letter or a message or anything like that is another good way if you have a hard time getting your words out. But having a friend there to support you, that's also great. Anything like that honestly is going to be a big help. But if you don't have any of those things, get yourself to a safe location and then do it over the phone. That way if there is like a bad reaction, then you're safe from it, and then you can protect yourself knowing what the reaction is. So that would be my advice. There's no real amazing way out of the situation or around it. It's kind of one of those situations where you just gotta band-aid rip it off if you want it to happen. But also there's a reason why a lot of people, you know, don't tell people who aren't supportive, because the reactions can be scary. But I don't want to say that to discourage you. So there's my advice on that. Okay, Cody says, I'd really like to know more about how you built / found your support network before coming out. Well, I'm really lucky. I already had some trans friends, and like my friends in general are just like amazing and supportive and stuff. My friend Lana is probably like was my biggest support through me coming out, just because like they've been there before. They helped me come to realizations about myself and stuff. And yeah, so having good friends that I can call at a moment's notice who are fully aware of what's going on. I mean, they've just always been my friends, so I didn't really need to like cultivate it. But as soon as I figured out what was going on, I immediately informed all of my friends so that they would also be aware of what was going on, so that they could help me, as well as I am already in therapy. So, you know, having a therapist is always a great support system. It's good for even when you aren't on good terms with friends or other things, which, you know, like, or your friends are fucking busy or whatever. It's nice to have a therapist there as well, just as like that extra layer of security. Yeah, so I would say that I had kind of already cultivated the perfect friend group who was already going to be supportive of me. I don't surround myself with people who wouldn't be supportive of me. Yeah, I mean, honestly, starting doing sex work cut out a lot of people that would be judgmental or shitty or try to tell me how to live my life. Doing sex work cuts a lot of those people out of your life pretty instantly, because they just simply cannot deal with this line of work existing. So yeah, I'm pretty lucky there. Major Donut says, if you had to live in one anime world, what would it be? This is the great question. I constantly am like, okay, if I got isekai'd somewhere, where would it be? This is not technically an anime. However, I'm counting it. I will also say an anime, but this is the one that I would want to be isekai to. I want to be isekai into fucking Genshin, okay? I know that world like the back of my fucking hand, all right? I would have no issue getting isekai there. I know where everything is, all right? I know how everything works. I'm chilling hard. Otherwise, No Game, No Life. Love No Game, No Life. I would get isekai'd into, well, there's a lot of variations of that world, but you know, not the war-ridden one, but where it's all just like, the world is called Disboard, which is already, it's a cool name. I like the name, but the rules are there's no war, stealing, or killing. Everything has to be decided via game. I just love that. It's fun. So I would get isekai there for sure. Okay, Peter's Dinklage asks, did you cosplay before you began your career in adult entertainment, or was it something that you picked up while in the industry? Kind of both. So like I said, I've done it like previously. I've done it before. Pretty much every Halloween costume I ever did was more a cosplay than a costume. I've always enjoyed cosplaying, like especially like middle school and stuff. However, I actually had the money and ability to do it when I was like about a year, 2 into my job, because I have like money to fund cosplaying because it's expensive and time consuming. So it's time consuming. Yeah, so I got really into it after I had already started because I was able to fund it. So, and it's great because I can do both at the same time. This is translated from Spanish, so bear with me. But how long does it take you to learn the trend steps? I'm guessing he means like the TikTok dances. It depends on the TikTok dance. Usually, and this is from Alcides 999. Usually it takes me like anywhere between 5 minutes because it's a simple one, or it can be like an hour if I'm learning an actual dance. But it really just depends how difficult it is, but usually it just takes like 5 minutes because they're pretty easy. I just have to like watch it a few times and kind of like go through the motions of it, and then that's it. I mean, when I was in cheer, we had to learn like 6-minute routines or whatever. So learning a 15-second dance is like really easy for me. Okay, Sean asks, if you could own any piece of art, what would you pick? That's a good question. I don't really have the desire to own art. Does that make sense? I know that's ironic considering all the art on my wall, but like as far as like masterpieces, like I'm fine with just like a printed out copy of it, you know? Like visually just seeing the art is enough for me. I don't need it to be the actual piece. If I had to go with anything, I'd probably do The Wave. I've seen it in person. It was at it was at the art museum, I think. Yeah, it was with Sam not that long ago. So I would say The Wave. It's really pretty. I didn't realize how many other art pieces that artist has done. What's his name? I need to look it up. The Great Wave off Kanagawa. Print by Hokusai. Yeah, super nice. Love that painting. Love his work. It's great. So I would do that one. That would be my choice. All right. Next question. Serpent again with the fucking questions. What is the perfect time and temperature for cooking bacon in an oven? I got you. Okay, I do this all the time actually. So what you want to do is you get your bacon, you get tin foil. It has to be tin foil, and you have to make sure the tin foil is shiny part facing up. All right, this is really important. The dull side has to be down, shiny part up. Basically what you want to do is you put this on like a cookie sheet or whatever the fuck, right? Basically create like a little boat so you have like a little like lip around the edge of the tin foil, like fold it up so it's like a little boat out of the tin foil. Okay, in still like a square shape though. Then lay out the bacon 350 for 15 minutes. Okay, I like crispy bacon. All right, if you want it less, do 10 minutes, but cook it at 350. You want to cook it at a lower temperature for a longer period of time. Okay, that's how you're gonna get like good, real all the way crisp through bacon, and it's not like burnt places. So there you go. That's how I make bacon in the oven. You're welcome. I like it real burnt and crispy though, so less. Okay, Big Guy in Black says, are you happy with your current appearance, or do you wish you looked more masculine, mustache, more body hair, muscular, etc.? As far as my dysphoria goes, my dysphoria is like from the neck down. My dysphoria is purely from like the neck down. I don't really have any face dysphoria. Like I think I already pass well enough in the face. Like as for me, I pass well enough in the face that I don't get dysphoria. Like I'm fine with looking like a feminine guy because that's more or less what my goal is. Like this is my goal. Yeah, so I guess like deeper voice is one of the main things. I know if I go on tea, like maybe my jaw will get a little sharp, which I'm not upset by that. Like I'm not gonna be upset by that. But as far as like body hair, I hate having body hair, so that's meh. I definitely want my 6-pack back. I used to have abs when I was on cheer. I let myself go. I've lost my abs. I only have like a 2-pack now. Embarrassing. So I would say like I want little bits of changes, but the main things honestly is I want top surgery, and then I want my voice to get slightly lower, even though it's like already decently low. I want it to be low enough that you default to like, that's a guy, you know, instead of me being like kind of in an androgynous voice range at the moment. That would be my goal. Yeah. Olive Smith says, not sure if I worded this right, but was wanting to be feminine and being a trans man difficult to unravel. For me, experimenting with my femininity helped me realize that I was a trans woman. Yeah, so it definitely was part of the thing that made me keep talking myself out of thinking I was trans. So it's been like, 2016. Back in 2016, I went to treatment, and when I was in treatment, I realized that back then I thought I was non-binary or gender fluid, which what I was thinking maybe, because I knew that there was like something off there, but I just couldn't really like work it out, and I was more so focused on like getting my anxiety and panic disorder and eating disorder and everything under like control at the moment, so I didn't really have time or energy to focus on figuring out my gender dysphoria situation. So I was not getting a lot of support at the time from the person I was dating. They were not supportive. And I don't say they because they were using they them pronouns. I was just saying they to be obscure. But yeah, they were not a fan of the whole trans thing. So I convinced myself that I wasn't, and that I was just gay. And so I just went back in the closet as far as that goes. But that was part of, I think, what made it hard to realize that I was a trans man, and why I thought that I was gender fluid or non-binary at first, was because I was so anxious and like other things happening. I couldn't really like unravel the dysphoria from the rest of it to really like see what it was. But on top of that, I think, like I'm fine with dresses. I like skirts. I don't even hate long hair that much. That one gives me dysphoria a little bit though, I'm not gonna lie. But like Gestapo style long hair doesn't give me dysphoria. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's a guy character with long hair, but I don't know. Anyway, like feminine things like that, outside of like literal sex organs, feminine features and stuff like that, that was never a thing that bothered me. For me, it's really just down to like genitals, I feel like, is the main thing. Is like, I wish I had a penis. I wish I didn't have tits. Like, I'm not super bothered by having a pussy. Like, it doesn't give me all that much dysphoria. It's more of the lack of a penis giving me dysphoria. So like, I'm not gonna get bottom surgery, because that's like a whole thing that I don't want to deal with. But like, top surgery is already going to be enough for a lifetime for surgery for me. But yeah, I think that how comfortable I am, and because when I was a girl, I was like hyper femme. So I think that it was hard to realize that I was a guy because of all of that. But realistically, this was like, doing guy cosplays was the thing that did help me realize that, because I was like, oh wait, this feels right though, in a way that how I normally am or look just has never felt right. Dressing like that, even though it was like kind of not the best, like that felt more right than how I normally dressed, which should say everything. Yeah, so I think that it really did stop me. I think also society's way of viewing gender, where it's like, I don't want a lot of facial hair. I'm fine with how my face looks. Like, I don't want to be like super fucking masculine or anything. Like, that's not a goal. But like, that doesn't matter as far as like what your gender is. It doesn't matter how you want to express that gender. Like, that has no bearing on what your gender is. Like, gender expression and gender identity have like fuck all to do with each other. And that took me like a really long time to realize. And I mean, most people still like can't come to terms with that, or refuse to come to terms with that, or just straight up deny that that's a thing. But realistically, like, I'm using Gestapo as an example again. You're not gonna say that he's a girl just because he like is wearing girls' clothes. Like, I'm like, if I was a fucking tomboy and I'm dressed exactly the same as I am right now with the short hair, I wouldn't automatically be a boy just because of the clothes I'm wearing. It's how I'm internally. Like if I am identifying with being a girl, then I'm a girl. If I'm identifying with being a guy, then I'm a guy. And if I'm identifying with being both, then you're one of the in-between options. But like, or part, or, you know, neither, or whatever. But it took me like a really, really, really long time to like actually internalize that logic. Because like, obviously I knew that, like mentally, logically, I knew that, but I hadn't really like internalized that and fully understood what that meant until I was sitting down in one of my guy cosplays and I was like making a joke about like, haha, it's so fun looking like a guy or whatever, because I had to wear the cosplay out in public. And I was like, oh, it's so funny, like people are treating me like a guy, and whoever I was with at the moment was like, haha, newsflash, you actually don't look like one. And I just burst into fucking tears, like, and they were like, I was joking, but like, what happened? What was that? You know? So like, yeah, I think that, gender's just very complicated, and I think that the way we're raised and how the general public treats gender makes it incredibly difficult to realize like how you're internally feeling about your own gender a lot of times. Because like this happens for like trans girls who are tomboys too. Like you don't have to want to wear the dress. You don't need to wear the skirts. You don't have to have long hair. None of that is required. You don't even need to like grow titties. Like that, none of that's required. None of that matters. Like you can still like be a fucking girl. Like you don't need any of that stuff. None of that stuff applies for cis women. Like none of that stuff is like barrier to entry to being a girl for cis women. Just like wearing a dress or having longer hair or looking more feminine or painting your nails or whatever the fuck doesn't have any bearing on cis guys, whether or not they're a guy. It shouldn't have any bearing on trans people, whether or not they identify with what they identify with. So there's my little spiel on that. But yeah, good question, Olive. Good question. Okay, Jeffu, when is the second edition of the cookbook coming out? Dude, okay, if you don't know, he's referencing on famous birthdays, they like have it on there that I wrote a cookbook. I didn't write a cookbook. I don't know why they have it on there that I wrote a cookbook. Like my famous birthdays profile is just like not even remotely accurate. It's so like, maybe I should write a cookbook, but it's not good. It's not good at all. It's so bad. Same with the Forbes. Forbes thinks I am like a multi-millionaire. I wish, girl, but like no. Okay, Lil Bear says, and this is the last question. This is the last question because this is all that's loaded, and any other questions will be in the next Q&A. All right. And sorry for the long video. I hope you enjoyed. I will try to edit out a lot of my likes and ums or whatever the fuck else. The sirens. Okay. Lil Bear asks, what are some things I could do as a cis het guy to make someone like you feel safe? I look like what you would imagine a welder would look like. I don't by default feel unsafe around someone like you. You don't, okay, I think, let's see. You don't need to like necessarily do anything to make me feel safer, I think. Yeah. I think that by default, I'm gonna assume I guess that's kind of just how I am though. I default assume people are good people until they prove otherwise to me, which, you know, has gotten me in trouble, but I refuse to abandon that trait. I think the only time I ever feel unsafe around people is when like trans issues or like gendered issues or like gay issues come up and the person seems like they are an extremist in one sense or another, like either they're very much transphobic or homophobic or something along those lines, or they're like, oh, I hate men, blah blah blah, like fuck all men, that means trans men too, like completely ignoring the actual intersectional layers of oppression going on. Like, no, actually trans men cannot oppress cis women. That is not a thing that is happening. And if that is a thing that happens, it's because someone assumed they were not trans. That is the only way you get privilege as a trans man, is that they assume you were not trans. The second they find out you were trans, all of that is gone. It's completely gone. And now you're at the very bottom. So congrats. So yeah, people who, like, I don't like gay guys or lesbians who are fucking transphobic or like, I only like real women. I only like real, like that shit. This is off. Like, oh my god, they want us all dead, actually, so have fun with the bootlicking. Fuck. But yeah, like if anything like that comes up, just voicing your support for like people to express themselves how they want. I think that's really the only thing. You don't need to like go out of your way to be performative about your support or anything. I think that honestly rubs me worse than someone who's just kind of like doesn't know and doesn't really care, you know? Because someone who's like indifferent about it, just like they're minding their own business. They don't really care what anyone else is doing. And I respect that. So I think just being like, it's not my problem. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Like using people's gender that they go by, I think that's just the easiest way to make a trans person feel comfortable around you, is that you just don't mention that they're trans, and then you use the correct gender, and then you just treat them like that, and then carry on with your day. I think that just carrying on and treating them like you would anyone else of that gender is probably the desired thing most trans people want. Like there's obviously people who are attention seeking and want to be treated special, but that is the case for any group. Any group has annoying fucks like that. So just ignore those people. Treat trans people like you would treat anyone else of that gender, you know? Just treat us normally, and then it will feel normal. You know? Yeah, I think that's the best thing you can do, is just to not treat trans people any differently. Yeah, or gay people any differently, you know? Like, because it's not different. Like, as far as your interaction with them goes, it's not any different. So yeah, all right. Well, I talked for a long ass time. This is gonna be a long ass fucking video to edit, but hope you enjoy the little Q&A. The next video will probably be on all of the reasons that you should not do sex work. Before I get into advice on, can I shut up out there? Oh my god. Before I get started on my advice on how to do sex work the best way possible, I'm gonna start by giving you advice on why you shouldn't do it. So that'll be my next video in the like sex work advice. All right, see you guys in the next video. Mwah. Bye, bye fuckers. Bye.